In this video, I want to tell you how to think. And by that, I mean get out of your head and make your thoughts meaningful. My name is Tad Scritchfield. I'm a software engineer, I'm a dad, and I love coding and music. And frankly, I think a lot. But I have this problem. I get stuck. I get stuck in my head. And it's not just like a little stuck. It's like so stuck that I get stressed and angry and tired and even depressed. And I can let thoughts, even just these little ones, pile up over weeks and months. And it feels like eventually like I can't even slow down. Like my mind can't rest. And once I get like this, I finally confess this to my wife. And as I'm talking to her, I realize I've done it again. And I didn't let my thoughts go. And I didn't let them out. My brain just will keep chewing on the same information over and over until it's all gone, and all that's left is just my tired old brain, just a blob of neurons. So how can I stop doing this? How can I let the thoughts that are in my head out? But it does seem like if I could just think out exactly what I'm thinking and come up with a solution, then all this should just go away, right? But that's not really how it works. And thinking in itself is good, but if the thoughts never cross the barrier of our skulls into the real world, then they'll just be kind of like the gunk at the bottom of the air fryer that nobody wants to clean out. So now for this chat, I'm going to define thinking as communicating an idea. And the output of thinking should be communication, even if it's communicating back to yourself. So I'm going to define something here, and that is refined thought. How well your thoughts can come across to others, or how effective your idea is communicated. So how well others can understand the idea, including your future self. So you take the initial thought, you think it, and then you communicate a better idea. So effective communication is refined thought, and that's our first big idea here. Effective communication is refined thought. So then how can we think? Well, I'm going to propose something here, and it is doing. Call it thinking 2.0. Doing is a better version of thinking. And that sounds maybe a little simple, but doing something will put your brain in a state of true thought. So I put 6 practices together of thinking in a little diagram that I've called Tad's Triangle of Thought. It's not truly trademarked, so feel free to crop it and steal it. But below here, I'm going to expand on these practices. But first, I'm just going to explain the triangle here. So as we go up the triangle, it correlates to how refined our thoughts can be from the practice. But as we go up, it can also correlate to the level of effort you need to put in to accomplish that refinement. And there's also another way that you can think about it, is that the levels can be correlated to the complexity of your thoughts. So if you have a problem or desired outcome that is complex, then you'll want to go higher up in the practices for a way to solve it or for a way to think through it. So yeah, let's jump in here. So the first level is moving your body. There's this old saying that is, work with your hands, rest with your mind. Work with your mind, rest with your rest with your hands. So in our case, right, we're talking about thinking, that's our minds, working hard up there to get somewhere, but we're stuck. So for me, resting with my hands means even just going for a walk, working on something around the house, in the garage or in the yard, could even mean working out. There's many more things out there to do, like playing a sport, kayaking, bike riding, rock climbing, going for a hike, even things like painting, playing an instrument, knitting, cooking, It's all something with your hands, right? The list is endless, but the point is that you are doing something with your hands or your body. It's not an exact science, but something happens in our minds, and it just starts to untangle what's up there without much conscious effort. So, if you don't have something like this, I strongly suggest that you find something, even if it's just walking, but find something that you enjoy doing. Basically, it's a hobby that isn't being at a computer or in a book or really even writing. It's moving. All right, so next level here. We're going on to level 2 already. Private notes. So just writing what you are thinking. Write it somewhere you don't intend anyone else to read it. You can even write it as if you're not going to read it again. Just the intention here is that you take a thought and you put it somewhere. That could be a sticky note or in a journal or on your computer in Google Docs, anywhere. So this is the first level of getting the thoughts actually out of your head. So moving is great, but it doesn't actually take something from your head and put it outside besides maybe burning some calories, right? But the idea doesn't go anywhere. And so, this can be basic or profound based on how you practice it. Writing out a few words can be enough to unblock you. But some journal every day or multiple times a day their entire lives. And one example I have here is St. Augustine. He did a lot of writing about his own thoughts. He struggled with many facets of Christianity, and then he wrote about it. And it's one of the most significant works of Christian theology and even just philosophy now. So you don't need to be the next St. Augustine with this practice, but it still can be life-changing if you write even occasionally. All right, so next level up here, conversation. Speech does something to our thinking. I'm not a neuroscientist, so I can't tell you if any of what I'm saying is true here, but we take these electrical signals that are in our brain and we turn them into sound in the language we know, or even a language that we choose if we know multiple languages, and we try to get another person to understand. So this can range anywhere from talking out loud to yourself or an inanimate object, or to having your partner listen, even if they're on their phone, or having a fully engaged back and forth with a peer, and you're mutually advancing the idea. So while you are talking, the ideas start to take shape in front of you. They are like literally refining in the air and the sound waves as they make it back to your ears. Once you hear a thought, you could think, that's great, and let's keep running with this, or that was stupid. Why was I thinking about that? Either way, the old thoughts can be disposed of, and the new ones, there's room for them now in your mind. So this is a reason that therapy works so well for a lot of people. The classic line, "How does that make you feel?" Delivered after you, spill out your monologue is sometimes all it can take from a therapist to keep your brain working and keep you in the mode of talking and thinking. So now, let's keep going up here. The next level is public writing. So this is where we start getting into the level of shared thoughts. While conversation is sharing, it's usually, at least for the purposes of my talk here, is that it's only one or two people that you're really talking with, or a small group. But what I mean by shared thoughts is very broad, like a possibly unknown size audience. So public writing can mean a lot of things, but common mediums can be a blog or social media or even writing documents at work. So when you are writing for a public audience, your brain does something automatic for you. You start to really care more about the words that you use. the way your sentences sound. You care about the reader's opinion of you. And the refining can happen as we type or as we write, or it can be an editing process as you go. So, maybe you write some thoughts out and then you come back the next day and you refine it some more. The point here is that you care about how people will view you and your thoughts as they read them. So you are trying to purposefully lay out what you are thinking on a page for someone else to read. So now we go to the next level. This is even more shared thoughts, video. And this is what I'm doing right now, is not a live video, but me talking to a camera. And this can also include like a public presentation, whether online or even in person. I think in person is more scary to me, but maybe that could be like an in-between level here. So you are not just sharing your thoughts, you are sharing your visage. You're sharing your face and the expressions that you make while you are talking. So we just talked about caring what people think about you when you write, but now you have to worry about how you say things. You almost have to act. You have to do extra for it to come across, especially on camera. So unless you are just so naturally charismatic and exude joy from your face and everything that you do, it will just not show up on camera unless you accentuate it. So, and that's honestly what I'm doing right now. I'm really trying to accentuate what I'm saying and accentuate my body movements and my lips and everything. Talking louder than I normally would. You have to show what you feel and what you are thinking, and not just say it or not just write it. So 2 years ago, I actually became so fed up with this cycle that I've been in, with thoughts stuck in my head, and I wasn't able to communicate clearly, and so I needed an outlet. So I started a YouTube channel where I simply hit record on my phone, and I tried to talk about what was on my mind, and I just uploaded it. I didn't touch it, I didn't edit it, I didn't even watch it back before I put it up. And honestly, after a few weeks of doing that, I saw a huge improvement in my thinking, in my speech, and even in my confidence, which was very unexpected. And it certainly affected my real world life of going out and talking to people and looking people in the eyes even. So yeah, it did truly transform my life. And this is that channel. This is probably where I'm posting this video right now. So you can go back and watch my progress there. The first videos, I would say probably all the videos are a little cringe to watch, but I'm still working on it. And this video right now is just another step in my process here. So my advice here to you is just hit record. Just make a video of yourself. Watch it back if you want to and see what you want to improve about yourself. In my early videos, I was going like this, back and forth in my chair, looking all around. Wasn't looking at the camera ever. I was looking down a lot, and I was just very uninteresting to listen to. But I watched it back, and I slowly noticed all of those things. Felt bad about myself for a little while, but then I got over it and just kept going. So, my advice to you there is just to record it. It more than the other ones, at least for me, it has been more life-changing even than writing or anything else. So, all right, last thing here, doing something creative or being creative. The point here is that you take your thoughts through the extreme refinement process of creating art. And by art, I mean an edited video making music, making a visual art, whether that's painting or 3D modeling or sculpting or what have you, or writing a novel or building something. It's not just, we talked about moving your body and maybe some of like the hobby things there, playing an instrument or painting or something like that. I don't mean those. I mean making something out of that and making something that you want other people to see and you want other people to feel something from what you make. And I have a Rick Rubin quote here. Art is choosing to do something skillfully, caring about the details, bringing all of yourself to make the finest work you can. It is beyond ego, vanity, self-glorification, and need for approval. And that's what I mean here is making the finest work that you can. So refining your thoughts all the way down to a work of art takes time and effort, and it can be really painful. It's painful because you have to keep throwing away thoughts that you thought were good thoughts. But when they hit the flame of refinement, they just vanish, right? They immolate. And so you have to keep trying until something comes out of what you are doing, something complete and whole. And then the idea gets communicated, right? Like a pure reflection of your thought. So, and one last thing with this, how well your work is received once you put it out there, it can be a measure of how refined your thoughts became throughout the process of creating. So here's the final triangle of all the parts. You got moving, private notes, conversation, public writing, video, and a creative work of art. So again, the big ideas here is effective communication is refined thought, and doing is a better version of thinking. Now, to quote my late grandfather, just do something even if it's wrong. And wrong as in not like something illegal, but even if it's not in the end the right thing to do, like if you went bike riding instead of going for a walk, or if you wrote a document out and really you needed to write a different one, or it needed to be about something else, or what have you, that at least you did something. You refined your thought and you were able to walk back and say, actually, you know what, I should have done this instead. And then you can go do that thing. So to summarize all that even further, just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just start. And even one more final summary. Doing is refining is effective communication. So one little bonus here, if you are feeling really, really clogged up, then take a break from information. And that means social media. That means reading or watching TV or whatever it is. Go outside, sit in your room in silence, whatever it is. But the level 1 of doing here is your ticket. So thank you for your time. Again, my name is Tad Critchfield. I appreciate you watching this video. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I'll see you later.